Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to Four Guys in a Bar podcast, sponsored by Chiefs Blitz and presented by Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. For your mortgage solutions, call Dave today at 816-405-5831. That's 816-405-5831 because he's pretty good. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com and the YouTube channel at Chiefs Blitz. I am your host, Nick Athan, along with my producer extraordinaire, Mr. Hense Todd with Bowtie Sports. And check out their show 1 o'clock Saturday Central Time at Bowtie Sports on YouTube. It's a terrific show. They do a great job. And a couple of guys that do great jobs for us are our sponsors. And first up, I want to talk about my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes. Eric Haynes is with the Eric Haynes Group. He is your real estate advisor. He is my realtor. He is Hense's realtor. We found a house. Not Hense and I, just so people understand. My wife and I found a house. Eric hooked us up. He took care of us, handled the paperwork, got inspections next week. Going through a lot of details just to make sure this was the right fit for us. And you know what? I trust the man. He walked me through the process. I drove him absolutely crazy. He will admit that when we get him on a guest spot, which will be next month. And he'll tell you how crazy it was working with me. But he's a good person. And you want someone you can trust. You want someone who's going to get you through the entire process from start to finish, from making an offer to getting the keys to your new home. Every detail this man will cover, and he will put your family at ease. Give Eric Haynes a call at 816-729-3785.
Proud sponsor of Chiefs Who.
Proud sponsor of Chiefs Who. Breaking news before we get started. Chiefs All-Pro guard Joe Thuney might play on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh,
That's it.
Or he may not.
Yeah. No, it just came across the wire.
Or should he start? Or should
he's
he
hopeful?
Start?
That's a bigger question. All right, before we debate that, I want to introduce my my cohorts, Mr. Lou Montagna, the other senior member of the Four Guys in a Bar Chiefs Blitz podcast, and the coach, Mr. Andre Tillman. And gents, crazy times right now. I have been calm. I've been excited about the game, but I've had this quiet calm I've had ever since the Dolphins game. You know, I think this team's going to be fine. I think they're going to win. I haven't had that. I'm not so sure. And then this morning, a lot of the national guys and a lot of the radio guys and a lot of the TV guys are going, former players, yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win this football game. So I don't think it's going to change the point spread, but, you know, it's just it's pretty fascinating to listen to kind of people climb on the Chiefs bandwagon this time of year when generally in the last two Super Bowls, they've clearly picked against them.
The narrative of the narrative, right?
Yeah,
when everybody is when everybody don't know what they're gonna do, but they always one thing they do agree on is picking against the Chiefs. Hey, they got the boos when they enter the arena. You know what I mean? It just reminds me of if you're a wrestling fan as Dre and Kareem is on the show, you will know that the NWA. NWO, sir. Wrong group.
Calling out, calling out Dr. Dre and Ice Cube.
He didn't call out Easy E, Dr. Dre. He didn't. All right, Lou about to start. Hey, look, you know what I mean? Just how they came out. You know, the Wolf Pack. Everybody booed them. Everybody didn't know. You know, they didn't like them. You know what I mean? They didn't like the group. That's where the Chiefs is right now. You know what I mean? The Wolf Pack. The Wolf Pack is coming into the arena, taking everybody's pride and joy, beating everybody up. The fans booing Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, Patrick Mahomes. Hey, heck, they even boo Andy Reid. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the Chiefs is going to take this. It's Wednesday, guys. It's okay to feel good about your team. It's okay to say, don't get all the way almost at the finish line and say, "Oh, I'm almost there. I don't know. Oh, I'm getting jitterbugs." then you're gonna see me come right behind you and push you all the way over. Hey, you got this. Let's go. So, hey, the Chiefs gonna win this game. I can't wait for it. Sorry, 49er fans, you suck again. Go ahead, Lou.
Maybe Chiefs Kingdom is a little bit more of a late arriving crowd. They're more experienced in this whole thing.
They don't need that Monday. They don't need that Monday garbage.
You don't want to go. You don't want to show up to Vegas 5 or 6 days before the event. You'll be dead by the time the game comes off. Right?
3-day max rule in Vegas. 3 days.
So you got a bunch of people coming over Silicon Valley, California, quick trip. Okay, we'll take the booing, and I think in some degree, I think they're starting to embrace that a little bit. I don't know if they're quite the villain role at this point, but they are, that Chiefs fatigue is starting to set in. And it was like this year, well, they're not going to win this. They're not going to get to the Super Bowl this year. And here we are. Guess who's back? It's great. But I was saying right before we started, it just seems awfully strange that, again, the national pundits and so forth kind of had to see it to believe it.
Yep.
And now they're all coming to go, don't bet against Mahomes, which makes complete sense. But that's the part that always makes me nervous before a game is when everybody on TV is going one way, because as SVP Scott Van Pelt, he'll be the guy that says, okay, all those helmets are Chiefs. He's going to rest on the Niners just because everybody else is going the other way. Right. I don't believe that, but whatever. That's kind of my thoughts at this point.
I feel like Kansas City wants the hate. They're embracing the hate now. So when we see these commentators speaking highly of the Kansas City Chiefs, like Lou said, it makes you nervous because now it's like, okay, y'all switching up. Now y'all all going for Kansas City now. So it's kind of like a different type of pressure. Now it's like it's weird. I'm like, okay, so. Now y'all saying like Brock Purdy is the underdog. Now y'all putting the underdog label over there with the San Francisco 49ers now. Like even from the jump, I was like, the Chiefs is no underdogs. Like they've been here. They're more experienced than the Niners are. So I'm like, why would they be the underdogs? But now the commentator is speaking highly of the Kansas City Chiefs all of a sudden now. So like you said, Lou, it's weird. It's kind of weird to me. It's kind of weird now. It's kind of
underdog, rock roller, pit bull, chihuahua. Who cares? We got the dog of all dogs. That's Patrick Mahomes, and he's going to come out.
He's a baller. He's a baller.
I don't care. Brock Purdy, the Mr. Irrelevant. It is what it is, guys. Hey, we can't help that you get blessed. We can't help we get blessed that everybody else is. You can't judge a man about how much he got in his wallet, right? You can't get mad at the man because he's a millionaire or somebody's a millionaire, and then you judge them on how much they make or how much they bring it in or how much they winning. Everybody wants to hate the winner. That's okay. We just got to embrace this because we are the New England Patriots of this era right now. We are the Chicago Bulls of this era right now. We are the Los Angeles Lakers of this era right now. So just embrace it. Embrace it. Buckle the seat up, strap your chin strap very up, tighten it up, and get ready for the fight. Because everybody in the world is going to be against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now everybody want to pick the Kansas City Chiefs, but it doesn't matter. You can boo us, cheer for us. It's just who we got in the locker room. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, two combinations, just like Andy.
And MVS. Don't forget about MVS. Y'all throw MVS down there, man.
All right, so now
he's a statement guy.
Coach is just gonna resurrect all the guys that he crapped on all season.
Absolutely, it's coming to fruition.
So MVS, Josh Williams. Who else is on that list?
Tony gonna come back with a big play. He's gonna come back with a nice return. With a nice
one other thing for those of you in the comments, can we hear what you have to say about Professor Todd today? No hat, the hair's on point, the glasses. I mean, who is this guy? Come on now.
The man's pretty damper.
Come on, let's hear it.
The man's pretty damper.
It looks good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my
point. I don't get
he doesn't look good ordinarily. I mean, everybody likes a good beanie hat, but come on, look at this.
No, he looks very stylish. It must be that It must be that house shopping. That's probably what's getting it.
Yeah,
For the new
He
look.
said it's the house shopping. He said house shopping making you glow, sir.
So Hense is the before picture, Nick is the after. So
Yeah, exactly.
not sure what's going on in between there.
I could do a whole podcast on this process. Oh my goodness. But we're gonna wait. We're actually gonna have Eric on next month, and Dave's gonna come on as well. They're gonna kind of have their own segment, talk about their fandoms and talk about why they sponsored and a little bit more about their businesses. So you guys can get a better understanding of who these people are. Because again, we like to deal with real people, and we are 4 guys in a bar who are just real. This is how we talk off air, on air, on the phone, in the chat, in person. It doesn't matter. This is who we are, what we are, and that's why we love doing the show so much. So when I kicked off the show, I did. Let's just talk about Joe Thuney. The rumor is now that Andy Reid has not ruled him out. Thuney has not ruled it out. Whereas yesterday it was kind of doubtful. So that means in the walkthrough yesterday, he was able to tolerate the pain involved. They'll be in. I'm assuming they're going to be in pads again today, Thursday, and probably Friday as well, because that's been Andy's MO in the Super Bowls, especially last year against the Philadelphia Eagles. So, Andre, you made a good point. Nick Allegretti played some mauler ball against the Ravens, and in the fourth quarter, he sealed a couple of big runs for Isaiah Pacheco to get that first down to win that football game in Buffalo. So, he struggled in the second half in pass protection, kind of a couple of miscues, missteps. The form was off, but he was solid in that first half, partially into the third quarter. But Joe Thuney's having the best year of his career. Yeah. If he's ready to go, I got to give the nod to Thuney. Thoughts?
Well, Joe Thuney's an all-pro. There's a reason. I mean, he's arguably the best guard in the league. I mean, for my
right now,
I'm saying even before they signed him, I thought he was, if not the best guard, one of the top 3 in the league. So if he is healthy, and I think Coach Reid characterize it as a strength issue. If he can hold up, I mean, pain is one thing, but if he can't hold up, then obviously you can't play him. And all hail, Saint Nick Allegretti. God bless him. He does a great job, and they've kept him in there for a reason. He can come in, whether it's center, left guard, right guard, whatever they need him to do. They need him to catch passes. He'll do that. For you fans of Chiefs, he was featured, last week. So, so hats off to Saint Nick Allegretti. But yeah, if Thuney can go, you got to play him.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I get that, but his injury, I get the big moment, but do you want to really risk it though? Do you really want to risk that though? I mean,
he said, you get all that buddy, put him out there.
I mean, I get it though, but it's like a longevity though. I mean, I get it. I mean, but if he's not really 100%, why? The backup has been playing pretty good as well. So I mean, why not just let the backup go ahead and finish it?
Yeah, I think maybe he might be active. It's possible, but we'll see. But I'm with you. I think you play him, see if he can get through the padded practices the next 2 days, then I'd probably start him. But if he can't, I probably wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, he won't even be active then at that point. I mean,
that's probably
if he's active, he's starting. If he's not able to even do that, then you just activate somebody else that has a chance to contribute.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, most definitely.
I get him out there because the Chiefs got to go. I have to play. I have to play him. If he's, I'll leave it up to a player's hand. If he feel comfortable that he can go out there and play, then more likely they'll say yes. But I see how you look in practice. But like Dre said, if the backup's playing very well, I'm not going to switch that up. But also, looking at this, a CBS reporter asked Patrick Mahomes, is winning too much. It causes the team to become the villain. He said, "Hey, if it's okay, if I'm going to be the villain, he's okay with him." If you had to look at it, if you look at it and looking at DC character, Marvel characters, characters that you grew up and know, what villain role that you say Patrick Mahomes is playing? What role you say he's playing? What role you say he is right now? People, I would say the Terminator. I say he's the Terminator. He's coming to destroy everything. You know, we came back, come from the future and to destroy. Some people probably say bang, bang. Some people probably say the other guy. But I'm going with the Terminator in the Super Bowl. He's coming out. You know what I mean? He's causing havoc to everybody in the playoffs. But what you guys take? Who you guys say he is in the Super Bowl?
It's really easy for me. It's Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, man. Old school Batman from the 60s.
The Arnold Mr. Freeze?
No, not the Arnold Mr. Freeze. The original from the 1966-68 Batman series, which I have all on DVD, Blu-ray, by the way, and a little car, and all the cards I had when I was a kid. Anyway, he's Mr. Freeze, man. He freezes up. He freezes defense. He freezes coaches. He keeps them stuck in the turf. Patrick Mahomes, man, he just sheds these people. He just discards them like they're not on the field.
I say Thanos. I would say Thanos for Mahomes.
Wow.
I say Thanos. Yeah, I say Thanos, man. He's collecting those trophies. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you speak about Patrick Mahomes, it strikes fear in the opposition. So I think he's Thanos to me. I think he's Thanos, man.
How many of those stones were there? Was there 5?
About 5. Mm-hmm. About 5.
So when
he's coming to collect,
he's coming to get 3 now. I don't know if I can. The only villain, and again, the one that's just so apropos, and it's been done. So this is nothing original, but to me, he's still the Grim Reaper, man. He's inevitable. He's undefeated. Whoever is coming for him, it ain't happening. But he's coming for you, and you got no shot. So I'm going to stick with the Reaper.
Yeah, mine's. I'll go with the Green River, but I can't. Well,
hey, real quick, Trahan says Kane. She says Kane the Conqueror.
Okay,
that works too. Yeah,
it does. It does.
Yeah,
I say Bang. If Bang, it then Terminator to me, because Bang just came back, he destroyed everybody. Everybody thought this guy was that guy. He just came to destroy everything. He came to
me a little bit on that. Who's that? What's his name? Bang
from Batman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that one. I think I kind of stopped at the Michael Keaton Batman. After that. I don't really
Michael Keaton Batman was a classic. That was the one.
Christopher Nolan's three-part series was probably some of the best DC movie making of all time. Mm-hmm. Just because the characters, the look, the image, the scripts were great, the stories were great. They held true to a lot of the comic book persona, and they had some shtick in there from the original Batman series, which I really appreciated too.
Jack is the Joker, and then for me, the chef's kiss was the Prince soundtrack. That was it. All that for me.
I real quick. Kareem says this. He said Darth Vader, Andy is the Empire. Is the Emperor.
All right.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But again, guys, they are embracing this villain role. Now, first they was the good guys. They started off like a real comic book. They was the good guys. They came on to be the good guys. They came out to be very great. Now they coming out to be the villain. But
who would Travis Kelce be though?
Travis Kelce.
Gotta be the Joker, right?
I say the Joker. I like that. I like that, Nick. I like that. Because Travis Kelce is like, I agree. The Joker, I can see the Joker.
Well, the Jack Nicholson Joker, because all the dancing, the
Heath Ledger one. I don't think that's a Travis guy, but
Jack Nicholson Joker was something else. He was something else. I like Heath Ledger. I like Heath Ledger. I do.
I'm a big whole different slant. Just different, right?
Jack Nicholson was pretty good too, but that I got a picture of all of them. I got the guy maybe a video of all of them. It's very nice. But again,
Batman's the best. Batman and Godzilla, they're my two favorite, just hands down. Doesn't matter.
I still got
Batman. That's why we connect, Nick. Because I like Batman. Batman's my favorite superhero.
I've not seen the new Godzilla movie, but I did watch the Godzilla series on TV, which was just Monarch. It was just.
I mean, you know what? I don't think they got it though.
Incredible.
It's
on Apple TV. It's on Apple TV. The new movie came out overseas and here in the States. It'll be on streaming here probably pretty soon because they have a new Kong and Godzilla movie coming out, which looks just incredible. So I can't wait. I love monster movies, man. They're the best.
But again, they are embracing this the villain role, and it's amazing to me. Like hearing the crowd boo him, then Travis Kelce like, come on, bring on the boos, it's fired me up. Then Patrick Mahomes like, hey, bring on. I want to hear all of it. I want Chris Jones. He's embracing the vote. Now, who will Chris Jones be?
Ooh.
And all this. What villain role?
He's got such a
Frosty the Snowman.
No, well, maybe a little bit. I don't know.
The hell is he
no, I'm trying. I mean, he's such a. He's kind of like he's got it all. He's got the fire. He's got the passion. He has the emotion. I mean, the tears.
He would be Bane. I think Chris Jones would be.
No, Bane doesn't have a soft side. Bane only had a soft side for his girl.
Walk in the village.
Yeah, no. It's got to be. I got to think about that one. That's a really tough one. Okay, suggestions. We definitely need suggestions on that.
Absolutely,
man.
we got to.
Green came up with Boba Fett. I'm guessing that's a Star Wars thing.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
Boba Fett.
That's actually pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Good, Kareem.
So Tilly says this. Travis will need to be a bearded villain character. Who out here is a villain with a beard?
Leon Phelps.
But again,
in rare form today.
Was Lando a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah, Lando was. Yeah, I could see Lando and Chris Jones. I like that. That he was sensitive and he was also ruthless and his friends ultimately were the thing that held him together. So I got one guy. How
about Doomsday? How about Doomsday? You think Chris Jones fits that Doomsday persona?
Yeah,
it could be Doomsday.
Chris has got a lot of personality, so and I'm saying that in a very good way. In a very good way, because you never know, man. When in the interview process and just listening to him this week, he's all over the place, but man, he knows what to say, he knows how to say, he knows how to deliver it. And that smile, man, he's having fun out there. He's got a chance to be basically to secure his enshrinement into Canton with a win on Sunday. 3 Super Bowl wins. Already regarded as one of the best in his position. I'd say probably top 10 all time. And I think he's embracing it. When you look back at his career, by the time he's in the Hall of Fame, I think he'd definitely be top 10.
Top 10?
Top 10.
Top 10.
I'm not going to say
a little bit of a smirk. There's a fine line between smile and kind of like he's just kind of taking it all in, keeping receipts, as the kids say.
Keeping receipts.
They all keep receipts.
What will be Andy Reid's villain? Who is he? Who is Andy Reid? But all
she said Trahan says Hawk. She says Hawk. I mean, I said Hawk too, but he's not a villain.
No,
so I get it.
But there's two sides to Andy Reid. The side that we see and the side that the players see is completely different. He is an animal coaching this team. When there's no media around and the things that I've heard he said and the things that I've seen him do, I would definitely put him as the Hulk. Mild manner, Bruce Banner, in the media and talking to be around family.
And goes green.
And then when those game lights come on, he goes red.
Or is he Xavier from X-Men? Andy Reid.
No.
You
I'm
don't think so?
I'm not a big X-Man person, so
I think it's. But if see, the thing is, the X-Men are good guys, so I can't say. But Xavier controlled the narrative. He controlled the X-Men. He know which one was what. So I like Xavier.
I got you guys going, huh? So, but looking at this, guys. Speaking of Andy Reid brought back Eric Bieniemy for the AFC championship post game. So what you guys think about that? What do you think about him coming back? A lot of players think that he's going to be back. A lot of players answer questions about it.
Well, I look like an idiot because I put an article up yesterday at ChiefsBlitz.com that said I don't think he's going to come back. I think that ship sailed. And of course, what does he do? He was already back. Well, let's clarify this.
Well, he was in the neighborhood, right?
He was in the neighborhood. I'm assuming he still has a house in Kansas City. I think he's got some family. He probably said, "Hey, Andy, I'm going to come by. I want to say hi to everybody." And he probably talked to a few players, gave a few hugs. He was in limbo at the time. I'm sure that Brett Veach called the general manager of the Washington Commanders, said, "Hey, Eric wants to come visit. He wants to see the guys, wants to talk to Andy a little bit. Are you okay with that?" A lot of people have thrown some conspiracy theories out already. Listen, I still don't think Eric's going to come back because he could only come back as a running backs coach, which I'm fine with because I thought he was terrific when he was handling the running backs. But
you don't think they would like create a position, like senior offensive assistant? It just
depends what
assistant head coach.
It still depends on what Andy's going to do.
Right.
There still are rumors out there and significant ones, not any that I've heard or that I subscribe to, that, win on Sunday and, what else does he really have to coach for?
You think Eric Bieniemy is he head coach worthy? Could he run the Kansas City Chiefs?
No, not a chance. And I love Eric, but he's had 18 interviews now for head coaching positions. Some teams twice since 2019, and he's not been offered a single job.
Maybe he's turning them down because he wants to be.
I don't think Clark Hunt will hire him. I think Spags. We talked about this on Monday. I think Spags has a better chance to become the head coach. Than
especially how the players talk.
Because they could be losing Joe Cullen to the Seattle Seahawks to be their defensive coordinator.
That would be big.
That will be. You'll see some guys go to Seattle. You'll see some free agents go to Seattle. I could see Willie Gay and Chris Jones both going to Seattle and following him there. So I think the Chiefs really have to. They blocked Mike Kafka from leaving a few years ago, and they finally let him go last year when they brought Nagy back. But they only let him go because they knew Nagy was coming. So I think the Chiefs might have to block that move, probably have to pay him more money. They cannot lose Joe Cullen. It's imperative. Mm-hmm. He is their top defensive coach. Now, Dave Merritt, I think, could do a good job, running the defense if Spags moves up. So I think there still would be in good hands. But that's just somebody I don't want to see go. Yeah, He hasn't officially been interviewed. My understanding is that probably will happen at some point next week. But as far as Eric Bieniemy goes, listen, I like the guy. I think he's fiery. He's fiery. I think he gets in players' faces, but he just didn't have a lot to offer the team last year when Nagy came on board. His role was kind of negated a little bit, and I just don't see that this combination is going to work again in Kansas City, because then it becomes, well, when Andy retires, it's got to be Eric, and if it's not Eric, then it opens another can of worms. And I just don't think the Chiefs want any of that. They've already got some issues or some people questioning, some of their hiring practices and some of the things in the front office and some of the players they've signed and are not signed because of this reason or that reason. It doesn't fit for me. I think Spags would be number one. I think, I think it would be Spags. Now Vrabel would be interesting, but the reports are that he's kind of hard to work with. He'd have to really soften his tune, but he knows the organization spending 2 years here. But I don't know. I just don't see EB coming back in any significant capacity that would be.
Well, he already been back.
Well, you know what I mean.
So,
yeah, sitting in a meeting and talking to Patrick and the guys for a little bit and that kind of thing. That's not back.
So
that's Andy saying, "Hey, my boy needs a job." That's what I think.
Okay, so St. Clair says this has to be a reason if he has been turned down so many times. Good coach, but not a head coach.
Yeah, I think if he's
going
to be a head coach anywhere, it would be Kansas City. I think that's really the only shot he has, and that would be depending on how Clark Hunt regards him. I think he could be the overseer, be that, because I don't know, at some point during the course of the season, we're talking about having to have a coach that was like in your face and be I don't know. I can't remember exactly who was saying it, but somebody on the show was talking about how they needed to get in somebody's behind, with the receivers and everything like that. Now, not necessarily that you need that as a head coach, but not that he would be the primary play caller, just to be kind of the overseer, leader of the team. And I think in that role, he could be good. I don't see Spags taking that on. Again, I don't want to go to ageism here, but I think the next time they hire a head coach, it's going to be somebody significantly younger.
That's EB. Right. So John says this. I don't see Andy leaving anytime soon. He's a coach
I don't disagree.
That what he does, he lives to coach. Now I get that. Now back to EB, he's a good offensive coordinator. He could be a good offensive coordinator. Like, to me, I believe he's fantastic in that lane. But to me, as far as being a head coach, I don't know. I don't see him being a head coach. I think he's been a great. I think how sometimes people go on interviews and they talk so highly of the other job and they ask him that question. So what you do with your other job? How you feel about your other job? And he probably praising the crap out of the Chiefs and they probably said you got too much allegiance tied to the Chiefs and we probably gonna pass on you on there because we don't know if a Chiefs job come open or are you going to try to escape to get out of here to go over there to Kansas City. And it's probably that. It's probably that Bobby, he's turning down those jobs and say, you know what, he's gonna probably wait till Andy Reid done, and because he is young. You know what I mean?
He's in his 50s. He's in his
younger, not young.
Yeah, but here's the part. Here's the part that bothers me. If you're looking for showing this man respect, Cliff Kingsbury gets hired before Eric Bieniemy is told that he's out. It took 2 or 3 days to just sit down with him, and they didn't seem like it was all that important. And, here's the guy in limbo. Obviously he wasn't in town, as was confirmed by Andy Reid's comments today. But, they didn't have enough respect for him to say, hey, we're hiring Cliff. We just want to let you know we're going to, we're going to move on. Instead, they kept him in limbo for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't buy that.
So that tells me a lack of respect.
If the head coach gets fired, it's almost implied that everybody else is gone.
It doesn't matter though. You've got a new head coach, and they steal Clint Kingsbury away from the Raiders, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And they don't even have a conversation with him. And Andy confirmed this today. They didn't even speak to him for 3 days after he was hired. That tells me they don't think he's a worthy coach. That tells me that they didn't really want him to go they didn't care if he had an opportunity to go elsewhere or not.
Absolutely. Whether he did a good job or not, they were going to clean that slate. And I think everybody in the building knew that.
And I'm okay with that.
If it's a public perception thing, okay, maybe. But I think Eric and everybody else on that staff knew that we're all gone. I mean, this is, if they keep 1 or 2 people or maybe like the strength staff or just people, but everything else is going to be brand new. Head coach all the way through the entire staff, the way we run things, everything's going to be different. So I think Eric knew where he stood.
I think he did too, but that's not the way you do it. If you have respect for a guy who came into a pretty tough situation, coaching for a lame duck head coach, coming from an organization where he'd been under Andy Reid's shadow for 6 years, 7 years, and to do him like that, I don't think it was right. And I think that's why Andy said all the things he said today. Hey, he was with us. He's got a couple irons in the fire. He still has a chance to be an offensive coordinator somewhere. I'm not sure where that somewhere is at this point. He could. Well, no, the Raiders hired their guy. I think the biggest mistake Eric made was was it 2019 before Mel Tucker took the job at Michigan State. They wanted to hire him at the University of Colorado.
I remember.
And I think if he'd have taken that, and that was after the Chiefs' first Super Bowl. And I think that if he was smarter at the time, or looked at the situation, he should have gone to the University of Colorado to learn how to recruit, how to work with boosters. We all know boosters are like owners, and there's a lot more boosters than there are NFL owners, that's for sure. It would give him some good experience to run his own program, to build a staff. All the things that I've heard that people have said against Eric, he doesn't have the right NFL connections to build a staff. He doesn't really have the NFL head coaching. He's only now had 1 year outside of Andy Reid, and it's clear that Andy Reid runs the show. So I don't think he did himself any favors. I think he just expected, I've got all this hardware, but you got to work with Patrick Mahomes. And I think, that he just didn't make some decisions because he just assumed, he was going to get an NFL job, and he assumed that he'd take over for Andy someday. And neither of those things are happening at the moment.
Okay, real quick. John says that some players in Washington after the season said they threw too much late in the year. They thought that they should run more. What do you guys think? What do they think Kip Kingsbury will do? His offense airs it out. He does. Me being a Cardinals fan and knowing what he does, he's an air raid guy. He let the quarterback control the narrative, so he's gonna let whoever's back there control the offense. He's going to put all the pressure on the quarterback. That's how Cliff Kingsbury runs.
I feel like Cliff Kingsbury got that job.
That's what I'm saying. Right. That's the big.
I feel like Cliff Kingsbury got that job because everybody know Keller Williams is going there. He's from Washington.
You're right. That's what I was about to say.
I don't know that they know he's going there. I think they're trying to lay the groundwork to make it easier for him to go there.
Well, they got to make a trade.
Right now, Washington is at such a disadvantage at this point because Chicago knows they want him, right?
Yeah.
They can sit there.
They're number 2 pick in the draft. You got to just swap up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But they need Chicago to say yes, and here's what we'll take, and it's going to be a big price. You'd think just to go from 2 to 1. I mean, Chicago did it with Mitch Trubisky going from 3 to 2, and. Again,
they paid more than the Chiefs paid for moving up for Mahomes.
To trade the number 1 pick 2 years in a row would take a lot of stones. They got to make it easier for Caleb Williams to fall in love with the Bears rather than try to make that trade. I mean, that just that's a tough spot to be in as far as Washington is because they're going to have to give up a king's ransom, and I don't think the Bears are going to really do that.
And to answer his question, I think the Commanders is going to come out and fire on Bulk. I've been saying on this show that Cliff Kingsbury haven't got a fair shot. Now he got it. Now he got a shot in Washington to redeem himself. I feel like he helps a lot of quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, the beloved here. You got Caleb Williams that's coming out of college. You got Kyler Murray. You got Baker Mayfield. You have all those guys that's under his umbrella that it came out that actually showed these guys really who he is. And I feel like Eric Bieniemy, even though he got the job over Eric Bieniemy, I feel like he was the better fit for the job because I feel because of that this Commanders team is going to be 8. You got to watch out.
No,
I'm telling you, next year NFC, y'all better watch out for them.
Here's the problem. Dan Quinn is not a head coach.
No,
I would have hired Kingsbury as the head coach. I mean, Dan, he's not a good head coach. He's proven he's not a good head coach.
Well, he got his team to the Super Bowl.
He sure did.
Okay. And what did he do in the Super Bowl?
Well, okay, but he
That's
did
Tom
get
Brady.
they got him.
He
there.
relied on his offensive coordinator who sunk him in that football game.
Right, and not everybody is going to be
Who was the offensive coordinator of that team?
crazy successful their
Kyle
first
Shanahan.
time out, but he did get his
Kyle
team to the
Shanahan.
Super Bowl. He's been a successful coordinator in 2 different places, so I think the jury's still out. I think he's changed enough in his defense to realize that he did some things wrong. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give the Commanders people that interviewed all these guys the benefit of the doubt to say that Dan Quinn and other teams wanted him as well. So again, the point is going to be who's going to be the quarterback. I don't know. I mean,
nobody else really wanted him.
Is Drake May really such a bad consolation prize, or is Jaden Daniels that bad?
I think Cliff Kingsbury liked the athletic, dynamic quarterbacks. I think he fall in love with those type of guys. So
he worked with Caleb for an entire season. So I don't, that's part of it. And I think he's just one of those guys that is a rare talent right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So to pass. So for Chicago to pass on that, I think would just be malpractice. They got to take him.
That's real quick. Tilly Train, I'm gonna call him Train. Train says Keller Williams already made it clear he doesn't want to go to an organization that's rebuilding. He wants a situation where he can win right away.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
you might as well go back to you might as well go back to college because this isn't a draft for you.
Well, it's too late for that now.
Yeah.
Kareem says Kyler Murray is the second most talented quarterback in the league. Cliff couldn't make that work. I have very little faith in him at a pro level at that Mickey Mouse scheme. So he called everybody Mickey Mouse scheme, man.
Kyle Murray is not the second most talented quarterback in the league, but his part about Cliff. Yeah, Cliff is an acquired taste, and he's got to have the right situation.
I had to second that one. I had to not agree on that one. I feel like Kyler Murray. I feel like he just didn't have the right pieces around him, and he always for a small guy. I feel like he's better than Lamar Jackson.
Most definitely,
he has a better arm. He has a much better arm.
He's a better pocket passer than Lamar Jackson.
I just see Kyler Murray drop some dimes.
Yeah.
On some game winning drives. I'm like, God, lead. You know what I mean?
With less talent.
So imagine if they get Marvin Harrison Jr. Hey, that's gonna be deadly over there. But again, not to get off topic. Back to the Super Bowl, guys.
There's a game this week.
It is a game this week, Luke. It is a game this week.
You know what game? You know what game it is? It's called the Chiefs. Ooh, we're gonna get right into it right after this sponsor we have coming up next, Dave Purdy. So let's talk about Dave for a little bit, Nick. I think Nick is muted.
Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Let's talk about my good friend, Mr. Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. You can reach him at 816-405-5831. Dave is a special human being. He's a good friend. He's also a mortgage expert. He got me a loan, and I'm telling you, it wasn't easy. I am self-employed, which means I do things a little different with my taxes. And we had to really dive into the numbers, make sure it all fit. We had to find the right loan program with a great rate. It took a lot of time, but he took his time, and that's important. You want someone who's going to go through all the numbers and all the details, find you the best solution for you and your family, one that not only makes sense for now, but makes sense a year from now when interest rates go down even further to where you can refinance the house and get a better rate and be in a better situation. He's also great at debt consolidation. You got a lot of high interest credit cards, he's your guy. Talk with him about a second mortgage. Talk about maybe doing a refi on your first. Again, interest rates are down. So give him a call at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is
pretty
good.
Wake up, coach. Let's go, man. Strike up the band. Strike up the band, man.
Man, listen. I'm here, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to rock. Let's get it.
Let's do this. All right. As always, I'll start out with high school. He's a 3-star recruit coming out.
That's
Wait a second. I didn't do the lead up. This is we got to do the lead up. Fastest growing game on the internet. Ask anyone. YouTube, whatever platform you're on. This is the fastest growing game.
All
right. So now,
yes, sir.
Now that the contractual obligation is out of the way, he's a 3-star recruit. His high school sounds like it might be in DC. He was a Raider. Some say he might be living that 3-stripe life. He also says $5 goes a long way.
He was a Raider.
He made a big splash in a different sport. He once worked for a farm loading bundles.
For the dude who came from the Raiders. I forgot his name. Pharrell?
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah, there you go. Good for you.
He said the dude that came from the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. Neil Farrell is his name.
Neil Farrell.
Okay, he tripled his number in the NFL.
So I was wrong. Oh, that was out.
You were.
Oh, Lou got him. All right.
Nice.
And let's see. Can I give one that will give it away?
Everybody said in the chat.
Wait a second. So those were the main clues. Does anybody have a guess?
They said Kareem says Pat.
Kareem, ding ding ding, winner, chicken dinner.
Really?
He was a 3-star recruit. He went to White House High School.
Oh, that's
he was
right.
a Red Raider at Texas Tech. He's living that 3-stripe life. Obviously, he's a big Adidas.
That was a good one.
Oh, that was good.
He says $5 goes a long way. $5 footlong, baby. Made a big splash in a different sport. He even Travis Kelce beat the Splash Brothers in the match. He worked for a farm loading bundles, obviously State Farm and James.
Okay, that's a great one.
He tripled his number in the NFL. He was number 5 at Texas Tech.
No, he's number 15. I gotcha. Very well.
Before Kareem jumped in, kudos to Kareem. The final one was going to be his helmet speaks for itself. So there you have it, guys.
That was a good one. That was a good
one. All right, Kareem, I owe you 2 gifts now.
The Chief who was Patrick? Come on now.
That was pretty good.
Hey, boy, you picking up steam, man, because this was crazy. Good one though, Lou.
I didn't expect that one. I didn't expect that one.
I didn't expect that one. I didn't think there'd be a Mahomes one. That's very well done. Very well done.
It is Super Bowl week. I appreciate it. But yeah, nice. That was we had to get a big name in there.
Only Kareem figured it out. Kudos, buddy. Okay,
Kareem.
2 gifts. Now, 2 gifts heading your way.
Kareem, I want to know, how did you figure this one out? Type it up in the comments. What got you to guess? What made you do that it was Patrick?
Which of the clues?
Because it threw me off when he said he played for the Raiders. I said,
that was a good one. That was good. I'm thinking like, who came from the Raiders?
White House. Yeah, nice.
That was a good one, Luke. He had me. He had me thinking I won too. I was like, yeah, you're right.
He said, Kareem said White House.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, the White House got up.
Hey, Hense got you, man. That's your boy, man. You should know your boy, man.
So Nick, as Kareem won 2 gifts, what is his 2 prizes?
You know what? I'm in the process of sorting my collectibles as we speak. And so earlier today, I will dig out a couple of really cool things for him. I got a lot of stuff. So a lot of stuff that's not going to go with me. I will be moving some of my sports collectibles. So if anybody's interested, reach out to me on instant message. I'll let you know what I got up for grabs. But I will get him. I'll get him.
Post pictures on the site. You know, just kind of catalog it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of stuff.
well,
maybe
Kareem
not everything.
Kareem says actually 3 cough.
Oh, he's won 3 times.
I won that one. He tried to get the one that I won.
Yeah. No.
What are they putting in that water out in Utah? What's up, man?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if you need me to come down, bring down some camera equipment, we can all take some picture professional.
All right, that sounds good. That might not be a bad idea at all. So
make that
we'll
a link at chiefsblitz.com.
Yeah, it's possible. I'd have to set up a storefront. Anyway, we're getting way off topic. We'll talk about that. Yeah, Nick's trinkets. Nick's got a lot of. I got a lot. Now that we found a house, I'm going to be moving again. It's just like, oh man, I got to go through all that again. Luckily, I do have everything in on a spreadsheet, so it's all inventoried.
Cream said smart water. Cream said smart water. He said he get all his information from smart water.
That's right.
Nice.
It's smart water.
All good.
But the guys, before we leave out the show, looking at this game, a lot of people are not giving Brock Purdy any love. So what do you guys really think that, what y'all think y'all really gonna expect from the 49ers?
I believe Purdy's gonna come out there and play is gonna have a good game. I think he's gonna have a good game. He's gonna have a good game.
That's it.
Why?
Why?
Because I feel like his arsenal he has a vendetta against Kansas City, especially Kittles and Debo. So I feel like those guys already got a chip on their shoulder going against Kansas City anyway. So with them and Brock Purdy over there with and nobody giving him no respect, you put that together, you got a powerful offense coming your way. You got a powerful offense coming your way.
If he does that, where Tua, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson all fail against Spags' defense,
that's gonna be crazy.
That would be a huge feather in the cap for Brock.
That would be ultimate.
I'm just not feeling it. The defense is just even though the national media is starting to come around on this defense and seeing how good they really are.
Right.
I think it's going to be a few years before people realize just how good this particular defense really is. They're so connected. I made it simple. Forget about the scheme. The scheme's going to be there, but it's not sexy. Tackling. If they continue to tackle the way they do and limit any of the yak, it's going to be a tough day for San Francisco offensively.
All right, real quick. Sinclair says this real quick, Nick. He said Purdy will do okay for a while, but the Chief defense will adjust and he will start making mistakes, just as we saw in the last 3 games.
I kind of go back to opening night. I watched Purdy on the stage with Patrick, with the fans around him, with his teammates, and even in the solo interviews. And I just sat there and thought,
the moment's too big.
The moment was too big for him. You could see it on his face. Now, listen, I'm not saying he can't win. I'm not saying he can't have a 4-touchdown, 350-yard performance, no pick game. I'm not saying any of that. I'm never going to go against Mr. Irrelevant. He's already proven enough for me to tell me that he belongs, and the 49ers need to get him out of his townhouse because he ain't paying him more than $950,000 this year, which is shameful. But the bottom line is this. I think the moment's too big. I think the expectations are too big. And I think he needs this experience to figure out what it really, really takes to become a champion. And he's going to get a firsthand look at watching what Mahomes does all week. He's going to watch what Mahomes does in a game. And I'm not saying they have similar talents. I think Brock Purdy, I would put him right now in the top 7, maybe 8 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. No particular order, probably, 5 to 8 somewhere. But I just think that Kyle Shanahan's experience in the Super Bowl twice now has been absolute failure. I think he doesn't seem like they've done a lot of changing to this offense. When Jimmy Garoppolo to Brock Purdy, other than Purdy's a little bit more mobile and he can run. But the offensive schematics are the same. It hasn't changed anything. They still run the same crossing routes. They still run the same sweep plays. They still run the same running plays. There's not a whole lot of difference between the 2000.
Right?
What's that?
Because they work.
No, I'm just saying. But that's the thing. You can't do that. That was Marty Schottenheimer's big thing. He didn't make adjustments in the postseason. When it comes to a game of this magnitude, You have to do things different. Andy Reid probably has 20, 25 plays that they haven't even run this year.
Right.
I don't think Shanahan has that arsenal in his playbook. They have done everything they can to win football games, get through it. They were fortunate to beat the Lions. They were fortunate to beat the Packers, just as the Chiefs were fortunate to beat the Texans, fortunate, to beat the Titans because they were behind in both games. But in the end, the cream rises to the top. And I don't think Purdy is that person yet. I don't think he's understands really what it takes yet to be a champion, to win a Super Bowl. The 49ers are not the better defense. They're not the better offense. They're not the better coach, and they don't have the better quarterback. And at some point, that's gonna be a pretty heavy weight for Purdy to deal with.
I think one of the underrated things is having like a strong veteran backup quarterback, where he doesn't have that. I mean, he's got Sam Darnold, who's never really won in the league and hasn't really shown to be a dependable backup to begin with. Now, Pat had Chad, and not that they're going to coach him up, but just somebody to kind of be like that settling influence, especially in your first Super Bowl. He's going to be hyper. I mean, I don't think there's any, if he's human. I mean, if he is human, he is going to be a little bit hyper. So it's kind of have that calming voice, steadying voice, next to him. So that, that's a big deal. And now, I'm not saying he can't overcome that or he can't win the game, but again, to kind of this trajectory that he's had that has been so quick and it hasn't, I guess, been recognized as being more him. It's more recognized as the scheme and the players around him. That, again, those first two playoff games started out not so good. If it starts out that way again in this game, I don't think they come back.
Yeah,
most definitely. Kareem says, Purdy might be 15 to 20, but not close to 10, Nick, my brother.
Yeah, I would put it. I think he deserves at least top 10 for getting to two NFC title games and getting to the Super Bowl the second year as a starter now. And you also got to remember too, the Eagles were pretty much no match in the postseason this year. That's a big team not to be in the playoffs. And the Packers were like, until they beat the Chiefs, their season was in the tank. And the Lions, even though I predicted them to be in the Super Bowl, there were still a lot of shortcomings because of the way they're coached in certain aspects of the game, and the 49ers were the benefactor of those things. And so, the Chiefs have had the most difficult path to win a Super Bowl. They will have to beat 4 of the top, 5, 6 offenses in the National Football League to hoist their 4th franchise Lombardi trophy. Right. And the 49ers, weak division, struggled against the Ravens, who the Chiefs basically manhandled for 4 quarters. Just nothing equates to me that says that Purdy can rise above all those things and play a game against Patrick Mahomes to win a Super Bowl. Even if the fan base is 70-30 San Francisco, that ain't going to be enough.
I put it like this. it's everybody looking at the Super Bowl very, very, very wrong, because it's not, it's Patrick Mahomes' year, it's Andy Reid's year, but it's Spags against everybody else. It's Spags against your top quarterback. And then over there in the Buffalo land, he came down there and he shuts that man down. Against your MVP quarterback, he shuts them down. Now it's Spags against your best coordinator that besides Andy Reid. Besides your best coordinator in Andy Reid, you got Kyle Shanahan is second best to Andy Reid. So now it's Spags against them. Now Spags been playing very good. He's been having his defense there because he's been going against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in the playoffs and training camp. It all comes down to that moment. Now, can Spags shut down Kyle Shanahan offense, even though he went through all the gauntlet and knocked down the number 1 offense, scoring offense with the Dolphins, You know what I mean? Then the Bills, the Ravens. Now, last man left is standing on that mountain to a Spags defense winning performance, Super Bowl performance is Kyle Shanahan. So,
yep.
With that said, man, I feel like this is going to be a great game. We'll have a lot more for you guys on Friday. So, with that said, let's get right back to our sponsors, Nick. Before we close out.
Let's talk about my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes, with the Eric Haynes Group. He is your trusted real estate advisor. He is my trusted real estate advisor. He is Hense's real estate advisors. For the last month and a half to 2 months, he has been very patient. He helped us find a house. We put an offer in. It was accepted. Now we start that process of going to closing and getting our keys for the new house for my family. Eric was patient. He was deliberate. He had great advice. When he told me something wasn't right about a house, I generally agreed with him. When he said, hey, this is the one, it fits all the criteria, it fit, he made sure that we got it. So, this is a hard process. The real estate markets, fluctuates quite a bit. Prices are going up. Interest rates are coming down. So you want someone you can find that you trust. You can walk through the process from finding a house to getting your keys. Give Eric Haynes a call at 816-729-3785.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
Yes, and the man on the other end of the spectrum, Mr. Dave Purdy with Supreme. Dave is your mortgage expert. He is my mortgage expert. He's also one of my best friends. And Dave is someone also very patient, big Chiefs fan, understands the market. We used to work in the mortgage industry decades ago in another life. And it was great to stay connected with him. And it's great that I have him on my side, hence as well. The good news is this. You need someone who understands the numbers, understands the rates, understands the market. Dave is that guy. Give him a call at 816-405-5831. We love Dave because he is pretty good.
All right, guys. My segment is this. All right, I'm going to give a quick shout out to Kareem, John, Train, St. Clair. Who we got? I know we got somebody else. Somebody new.
Frank, our boy Frank from north of the border.
Yeah, most definitely. Frank, John Gordon. John Gordon, man, what's going on, man? Appreciate the love, guys. And don't forget to share it, guys. Hey, the more share, bro, the more love we're seeing, guys. So appreciate it and keep it coming.
So with that said, guys, we will see you guys Friday. Where's a red Super Bowl Friday? So everybody get on, bring your Super Bowl. And we're going to be talking about what do you bring to the Super Bowl party? What did you have do you bring to the Super Bowl party? Is you going to bring
empty stomach? You bring an empty stomach.
You gonna bring an empty
stomach.
And what do you allow at your Super Bowl party? Do you want to be alone? Do you let that person ain't watch football with you all year come over and eat some chicken?
All right, you got it. We'll do it. Let's do it.
Let's get that going, guys. So with that said,
all right,
we'll be back Friday.
Peace out, everybody. Take care. We'll talk to you Friday.